Hey, this clip is from the Nick Simmons Show. If you want to see that episode in its entirety, I've linked it in the description below. But today we're talking with Jackson, and Jackson wants to know, in high school, if you don't necessarily get along with your coach, what can you do? Let's roll the clip. You can ask me anything this week. What do you want to ask me?
What do you do with bad coaching in high school?
Oh, man, that's a great question. It's a tough one, too. What do you do with bad coaching in high school? You know, I'm so fortunate that in high school I had one of the best prep coaches in the world. His name's Tom Shanahan, and I absolutely love the man. I mean, he's the reason that I got into running. He's the reason I stayed running. So I'm coming from a place where I had great coaching, but I do know a lot of kids that have had bad coaching. You know, I have friends of mine and young athletes today that have had bad coaching, and it's a really tough one, right? Because you're being you don't get to choose your coach, right? And if you go to college or if you're a pro, you get to choose your coach. But high school athletes are kind of subjected to the coach that they have. I think number one, I would advise you to have a great communication with the coach, even if they're not very experienced, even if you don't think they're the best coach in the world. I still think that by trying to buy into the program and having great communication with that coach, maybe they're not the right coach for you, but they might be good enough for where you're at, if that makes sense. Now, if you're really talented and you really think you have, a chance to go get a scholarship or to go on to do great things in track and field, you may need to look at other coaches. And oftentimes I've seen kids hire outside coaches to help them with their specific event. You can join a local club and be coached that way. In Boise, Idaho, when we were young, there was a club called Team Idaho, and some of the athletes that didn't get along with their high school coach, or maybe they didn't have a coach in their event, would join this club called Team Idaho, and there you could find great coaching, great resources to ultimately train for your specific event. So whatever your sport is, I would encourage young athletes to start by trying to form that great relationship with your coach. But if it's really not working, you've got to look elsewhere, and sometimes that does even mean hiring a private coach if you can afford it.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that help a little bit?
Yeah, it does. I'm not in the best situation right now. I'm not going to say any names out of respect, but it's just very difficult because there's a lot of things I don't know. And with a bad coach, those questions don't really get answered.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I could try and look into a private coach or something like that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll quickly, I am not a coach. I'm not patient enough to be a coach. I do have some resources out there for young runners. I've got a little book called How to Be a Better Runner. It's available.
I got the book.
Okay, good. All right, I appreciate you getting a copy. It's called How to Be a Better Runner. It is available at nicksimmons.com for digital download, or I have autographed copies there as well. But I also have another resource. My 2012 Olympic training log is available at nicksimmons.com. And while I don't think that's necessarily a great resource in trying to follow that log, there are some really cool workouts and kind of some insight into the workouts that I did in 2012. So you can check those out as well.
Okay.
All right, Jackson, I'm wishing you a ton of luck with your season, man. Kick some butt.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Jackson. Hey, I want to thank today's caller. If you want to call in and be part of the next Nick Simmons Show, text me at the number below. I send out a text blast before every single recording. You can call in and ask me anything. And I really want to thank my Run Gum staff for helping me produce this show. Run Gum, it's like an energy drink, and this beautiful little packet, Wintergreen, can now be found nationwide at Walmart right at the cash register. Head to your local Walmart. Check it out. Thank you, Run Gum, and thank you guys. See you next week.